Hi guys, just a quick overview on eerste by the robots and eerste laan. This is basically at the traffic light in First Avenue. Alright, just gonna brush over this one very quickly. Just remember also that this poem is full of onomatopoeia where there is some sounds redone. So please just try and find them on your own as well. Like hertz en knars en klungel en is bro, right? So remember that is onomatopoeia. It's where they actually, how can I say, put the sounds into words. Onomatopoeia, twee, start you on top first stanza. Twee pare voete, hertz oor die teer. This is basically twee pare voete. It's two sets of feet. Hertz, this is dragging, making that sound on the tar road. Oor die teer meaning on the road, right? On road. Okay. Sy arm en nek is so styf en seer. Sy arm en nek, his arm and his neck, is so styf en seer, so stiff and sore. This say they are referring to is basically the guy, this one, that is begging at the traffic light. Okay. So this here they're talking about the beggar. Sy bene so lam van gister se staan. So his legs are tired, so lam, tired of yesterday's standing, the whole day standing, begging at the robot, okay? Ingehaak volg hy gedwee waar hulle gaan. Ingehaak. Okay, on the picture, it won't show that they are hooked in, but then normally you'll find someone's arm and then another arm coming this way, right? So the person is now what? They hook together like that, right? So there's the hand, right? So the one is hooking the other one like that. I'm hoping my picture is making sense here, all right? Okay, so the arm is through the other one, ingehaak. So the other one is volg hy gedwee waar hulle gaan, so the other one is leading. So basically the guy in front here is leading the blind guy. Motors se bande knars tot stilstand. Motors se bande. This is cars and their tires, right? Knars, the sound that the stopping tires would be making on the tar road. Tot stilstand. They come to park, they came to stand dead still. In die blikkie klingel 5 cent en 'n rand. In die blikkie, in the cup, in his cup, klingel 5 cent and a shume, 1 rand, right? So there's only 1 5 cents and 1 rand in the cup, right? Hy ryk die vis en chips winkel van Eerste Laan. So basically in that street where he's begging, he smells the fish and chips in the street. There's a shop in the street selling fish and chips. Hier by die robot waar hy die dag omstaan. So here at the robot where he stands the whole day. Die dag omstaan where he spends the whole day. So basically he's smelling the fish and chips in that First Avenue where he stands the whole day and beg. Sy arm word gepluk en geruk en hy skrik. So his arm, remember they are hooked in like this, and he's being pulled and forcefully moved wherever this person wants to go. He's being pulled and tugged on his arm, right? Hy word gepluk en geruk en hy skrik. And here it says he gets a fright. So it's a quite, if you can see here, there is K, and K, and K again. This is now examples of what? Alliteration. Alliteration being a funny, a fast action, alright? Toe sy voet dom oor 'n pyp een kant gesoek, toe sy voet dom oor 'n pyp een kant toe swak. So basically, where they were walking, there was a pipe lying down, right? So when the person that's leading the blind guy, he tugged on him and he pulled him, and he got a fright. He actually stepped on a piece of steel pipe that was just lying there, and he hurt his foot. It's this English thing for that. What can I? It's a swak. Right, he hurt his foot. He sprained his ankle. Right. Toe sy voet dom oor 'n pyp een kant toe swak, then he sprained his ankle there. Ons beter geld kry of ek los jou hier. Now you can see the quotation marks here. This is someone else's words. Now they are talking about this guy, the guy that is leading the blind guy, right? So at the robots there are two people, two sets of feet, twee paar voete, one set and his set. So there's two people, the one is leading the other, all right? Then the one says, who is leading? Ons beter geld kry of ek los jou hier. We better get money or I leave you here. So this is basically some kind of threat. He's threatening the blind man. Sis die tsotsi en sy arm ryk na en sy asem ryk na bier. Right here they use the word sis. This is now they use the word sis. The sound a snake makes, right? So this is also onomatopoeia. This is the sound a snake makes, right? A snake hisses. So this is the sound the tsotsi make and say asem ryk na bier. Say asem ryk na bier. So basically he is still smelling of alcohol while he's threatening the blind man. Sy hart klop vinnig soos die van 'n bang kind. Soos die, can you see the little apostrophe there? Sy hart klop vinnig soos die van 'n bang kind. So basically they're specifying that his heart is beating faster like this of a scared child, right? A bang, scared child. Hoe sal hy weer sy leerplek van hier af kan vind? Because if the guy that's leading the blind guy leaves him there, how will he find his way home? Because he won't be able to if he's alone, right? And then his worry is, and there is a question, how will he find his way back to where he actually lives? Sy leerplek, right? Die verkeerslig klik en die engines brul saam. Die verkeerslig klik, which means the light is changing. The light has changed to green. And the engines brul saam. The engines of the cars brul, the noise that the engines make, and together, right? So all of the cars that were standing at the robot are now going to be moving, right? Sy dowwe oë bewend opwaarts geslaan. Sy dowwe oë, this is his gray eyes. Normally with these blind guys, you'll find that their eyes have this gray patch on them, or it's just a white piece. So his eyes are actually faced up. So basically, he's got those gray coverings on his eyes, and then on his pupils, or whatever. And then it's basically directed up. Sorry. Right, dan again, tring tring, lei 'n fiets se klokkie. Tring tring, lei 'n fiets se klokkie. Klokkie being a bell, tring tring being the sound that the bell makes, and then fiets is a bicycle, right? So that is the sound that the bicycle makes, the bell on the bicycle. Hy buig af en trek aan sy stikkende sokkie. So the old man or the blind man, he bends over and then he tugs on his broken sock. Die verkeerslig klik en bande skuur oorteer. So the light changes and bande, the tires, skuur. So they start moving in a very fast action or whatever. Skuur oorteer, right? This is the road. So the cars start moving very fast. So now when the light clicked, they moved to the side of the street where they will wait for the light to change again, and then the cars can come to a standstill. And then here it says die verkeerslig klik en bande skuur. So this is where the cars start moving, right? Bande skuur oorteer. Sy arm en skouer is so styf en so seer. Again, this is a repeated verse line. So this is emphasis that is put on the pain that he has to go through, right? This is an emphasis on pain. His arm and his shoulder, very sore. So he's feeling extreme pain. A motorride cheer af. A motorride, this is a car window. Cheer af, that is the sound that the car window makes when the window is being rolled down. En ver weg dreen a bus. En ver weg far off, there is a bus. Dreen meaning the bus is idling, right? So far off, a bus is idling. As die dood hom tog net wil kom haal. This verse line here is actually a prayer that the blind man has for himself. So he wishes that death could come and fetch him and relieve him of all this pain and stress that he's going through. Dan kan hy vir ewig en altyd rus, and then he would be satisfied, because then he would at least rest for eternity, vir ewig en altyd, for eternity. Then he can rest for eternity. Die tsotsie skraap sy keel en spoeg 'n straal. Die tsotsie. Now, we said there were two people. There's the blind man, and then there's the one who leads. So the one who leads is a tsotsi. Remember they say in the other stanza there, 1, 2, 3, 4, in stanza 3. In stanza 3, it says, "Sy asem ruik na bier." So basically, and then there's a threat. We better make money, otherwise I will leave you here. So this guy that is leading the blind man is actually a tsotsi. And then he forces the blind man to beg every day, whilst then he comes and he takes the money from the blind man. Alright? So basically the blind man is like a slave to him. Die tsotsi skraap sy keel en spoeg 'n straal. So he gathers up some spit, and then he spits it out. Hy spoeg 'n straal, so which means it's a wet one. Right? So from his lips, they fly out the spit. Hy spoeg 'n straal. Okay. Geld klingel in die blikkie en lê dan stil. So remember, there was a 1 rand and a 5 cents in the cup that he's using, in the blikkie. Then it lies still, because now they're standing still. They're waiting for the cars to come to a standstill, and then when the cars are still, then they can shake the cup again so that the money can make a noise in the cup. Die duiwe koer en kindjie heel. So basically here now there's sounds around the old man as they are standing waiting for the cars to come to a standstill once again, for the robot to change. These other sounds come into place, right? Come into play. Die duiwe koer. Die duiwe, here it's doves. Doves that make the sound, hulle koer, 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 and a kindjie yell. So here's a child, and she basically like, right? Mommy, he's blind. This is the words of the child. Mommy, she speaks to her mommy, he's blind. He's blind. Speaking about the blind man. He is blind. Piep 'n dogtertjie sag. Now they've chosen the word piep to give indication that this is a small thing. Normally a small chick would be making this sound. A small newly hatched chick would be making this sound. Piep 'n dogtertjie, right? So there is a metaphor. Piep 'n dogtertjie. Dogtertjie is a human being, and piep is a chick. It's an animal. So basically there's a metaphor there for you. Piep 'n dogtertjie sag, and she speaks to her mom very softly. Hy draai sy kop skuins en wag. Hy draai sy kop skuins en hy wag. Now this is the blind man. Hy draai sy kop skuins. When he listens to the sounds around him, he can hear the daughter, the small child, tell her mommy that he's blind. So basically when he hears that, he knows that she's going to feel pity for him, and eventually there's money gonna come his way. So he turns his head sideways, right? And he waits. So he tilts his head somewhat, he tilts his head, and then he waits. Why does he wait? He waits for the money to drop in his cup. Hier's nog 10 rand. So there's money that drops, and then the mom says, hier's nog 10 rand, here's another 10 rand, sê die vrou, right? So the mommy, die vrou, she's the one saying, there's another 10 rand. Koop vir jou iets om aan te kou. Koop vir jou iets om aan te kou, meaning buy yourself something to eat. Alright, that's the words of the mommy, hence the quotation marks. Again, there's the quotation marks, right? The words of the woman, the mommy. Die verkeerslig klik en hy hou aan met wag. Die tsotsie pluk om aan sy seerarm en lag. Die verkeerslig klik en hy hou aan met wag. Now the light changes, and then he expects the tsotsie now. They're supposed to go back onto the road where the cars are going to stand still and then start begging again. But now the woman has thrown the money into the cup, and then he says, en hy hou aan met wag. Then he pauses, he waits, hoping that the tsotsie would at least help him or let him go and buy some food, I suppose. And then die tsotsie pluk hom aan sy seerarm en lag. So the tsotsie pluk hom aan sy seerarm en lag. These two sections here, tsotsie pluk hom aan sy seerarm. He pulls him on his sore arm. He knows he's having pain in the arm, but still he tugs on his arm. He doesn't care, and he carries on, and he actually laughs while he takes the very money that was put in the cup by the lady for him to buy food. So the tsotsie then takes all his money every day, forcing him to beg on the street at the robot. Right, I'm going to stop that one there. I'm just going to leave this. You can pause this video right there on the words and the explanations, so that you can have an idea what other words also mean. Right, guys, thank you for joining me on my channel today. Please tell a friend. Also, subscribe to my channel. Tell others to subscribe to my channel for other uploads, especially your grade 11 cousins, whoever's coming next year. Right, thank you very much. Yeah, see you next time.